Okay. All right. John.
Josh, on Syria, you're very candid in talking about the limitations of the current policy because there are no ground forces. Is it fair to say, to put a finer point on it, that what we are doing right now is failing to roll back ISIS?
No, because for the reasons that I cited, we have had there are a number of examples where we have succeeded in doing in Syria, which is consistent with our broader strategy, is that we have succeeded in taking out certain elements of their command and control structure. We have succeeded in destroying some elements of their logistical capacity, including some oil refineries. We have succeeded in shutting down some of the channels through which ISIL receives its financial support. So we have made progress in degrading ISIL. That ultimately is the strategy that the President laid out. The President was also pretty clear that it's going to take some time for us to train and equip fighters that can be the boots on the ground, that can take the fight to ISIL in their own country, and that will be necessary to succeed in our effort to degrade and ultimately destroy ISIL.
But if that's all true, then why are they still able to take over additional territory?
Because
if you've degraded them, if you've done all the things you described, and yet they're moving forward, not backwards.
Because the President has been clear that this is a longer-term proposition, and that we have succeeded in striking some of these targets.
Well, the targets you mentioned today was taking out basically 4 vehicles and an artillery base.
Right, and I'm glad you asked that, because let me clarify that. That is just around Kobani, right? So that's just in this one area of the country. There are other strikes that have been taken that have degraded their logistical ability, that have degraded their command and control structure, that have degraded their ability to supply their troops with money and other things. So there has been a broader effort underway that is consistent with our strategy that has been successful so far, but there is still a lot of work to be done, and that our strategy is reliant upon something that is not yet in place, and that is a Syrian opposition that can take the fight to ISIL on the ground in Syria.
And those that we are training, we're talking about initially a force of 5,000 Syrian opposition forces. It won't be ready to go until the spring at the earliest, according to what we've been briefed on. I mean, how is that going to be enough to?
Well, for those kinds of operational details, I'd refer you to the Department of Defense. They have the lead on running this training and equipping operation.